Welcome to Unseen Terrors, the horrors that lurk in the shadows. I'm your host, Mr. Winters, and tonight we're diving deep into the darkest corners of the human experience where fear takes hold, and the unseen becomes a terrifying reality. You see, we often think of horror as something confined to the supernatural, ghosts, demons, things that go bump in the night. But what if I told you the scariest things are often much closer to home, lurking just beyond our perception, hidden in plain sight? Today we delve into 3 terrifying real-life scenarios where hidden dangers lurk just out of sight, reminding us that sometimes the most unsettling truth is that monsters don't always lurk under the bed. They might be closer than you think. Imagine you're home alone, the familiar comfort of your own space surrounding you. But something feels off. A faint scratching sound, a fleeting shadow in your peripheral vision. You brush it off as your imagination, but deep down a seed of unease has been planted. This is the story of Sarah, a young woman living alone in a bustling city who began noticing these subtle, unsettling occurrences in her apartment. At first it was just a feeling, a prickling at the back of her neck. Then came the noises, soft, almost imperceptible sounds coming from her air vents. She convinced herself it was just the building settling, old pipes groaning. But as the days turned into weeks, the incidents intensified. One evening, while Sarah was making dinner, she heard a distinct thump from above. It seemed to originate from her bedroom ceiling, directly above her bed. Her heart pounded in her chest as she slowly made her way upstairs, each creaking step amplifying her fear. She cautiously pushed open her bedroom door, her eyes scanning the room. Nothing seemed out of place. But then she saw it. A small, almost invisible crack in the ceiling, right above where her head rested on her pillow each night. Panic seized her. This wasn't just in her head, someone or something was inside her walls. Sarah immediately called the building super, who, after a cursory inspection, dismissed her concerns as an overactive imagination. But Sarah knew better. The sounds, the crack in the ceiling, it was all too real. Desperate, she rigged a small camera, pointing it at the vent in her bedroom. What she captured sent chills down her spine and confirmed her worst fears. A pair of eyes gleaming menacingly from the darkness of the air vent, watching her every move. In the age of rideshares, we often hop into strangers' cars without a second thought, trusting the app and the anonymity it provides. But what happens when that trust is shattered and the person behind the wheel becomes a harbinger of fear? This is the chilling story of Mark, a young professional who ordered a ride home after a late night out with friends. As he stood on the curb, phone in hand, a car pulled up, matching the description on his app. He confirmed the driver's name, hopped in the back seat and settled in for the ride home. As the car pulled away from the curb, Mark casually glanced at the driver. Something felt off. The driver didn't match the photo on his app. He tried to brush it off as a simple mistake, a mix-up with profiles, but a knot of unease tightened in his stomach. Then the driver took an unexpected turn, deviating from the route on Mark's phone. When Mark questioned the change in direction, the driver mumbled something about avoiding traffic, but his voice was strained, his eyes darting nervously in the rearview mirror. Fear coiled in Mark's gut. He tried to roll down the window, but it wouldn't budge. The child locks had been activated. He frantically searched for his phone, but it had slipped between the seats. He was trapped. The driver, sensing his panic, let out a low chuckle, a chilling sound that echoed Mark's worst fears. "Don't worry," the driver said, his voice a menacing whisper. "We're going on a little detour, a detour you won't soon forget." Chapter 3, The Basement Door. They say every house has its secrets, hidden histories buried beneath layers of paint and time. But what if those secrets are more sinister than mere cracks in the foundation? This is the unsettling tale of Emily and David, a young couple who purchased their first home, a charming Victorian with a sprawling garden and a dark, unfinished basement. One evening, while exploring the depths of their new property, David stumbled upon something peculiar, a door concealed behind a wall of shelving units that had clearly been hidden from view. Curiosity piqued. They heaved the heavy shelves aside, revealing a sturdy, iron-wrought door. It was cold to the touch, emanating an unnatural chill that seemed to seep into their bones. A heavy padlock secured the door, the metal rusted and ancient. Driven by a strange compulsion, David spent the next few days meticulously removing the lock. With each passing hour, a sense of dread grew within Emily. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were tampering with something best left undisturbed. Finally, the lock yielded and the door creaked open, releasing a musty, stale odor that sent shivers down their spines. The air grew thick, with an oppressive energy, a palpable sense of unseen eyes watching their every move. Emily and David exchanged a nervous glance. Trembling, they aimed a flashlight into the darkness, the beam cutting through the impenetrable gloom. The air hung heavy with anticipation. What they saw, or rather what they didn't see, sent a wave of terror crashing over them. The doorway opened into an abyss, a void of absolute darkness that seemed to consume the light itself. A low, guttural growl emanated from the abyss, sending chills down their spines and confirming their darkest fears. Something was down there, something ancient and evil. Ultra, the unseen terrors around us. As we've explored these terrifying tales, one thing becomes clear. The scariest things aren't always supernatural, but disturbingly real. The unseen terrors that lurk in the shadows, the subtle signs of danger we often ignore, these are the things that should truly keep us up at night. These stories serve as a chilling reminder that evil can take many forms, often hiding in plain sight, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. It's a terrifying thought, but one that should empower us to be vigilant, to trust our instincts, and to never take our safety for granted. Stay safe, and always be aware of your surroundings. And remember, if you ever hear a strange noise in your home or feel like you're being watched, you might be right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spine-chilling stories.